How's it going, everybody? We're back for part 4, where we will be finishing up with the engine rebuild. In the last video, part 3, we finished up with the oil pan, the oil filter, as well as the timing cover, the rear main and the front main seals. Pretty much just got the whole bottom end done. So in this video, I think we'll be finishing off with the engine, reassembling it. It's going to be pretty chill since a lot of it is just reassembly, just bolting things back up, getting the wire harness back on, the cylinder head, the valve train, all that stuff. Just even the all the front stuff, the auxiliary stuff like the alternator, the engine mounts, everything essentially, so we can get it back in the car. So I'm thinking I'm not going to go super in depth with showing all the different specifications, the torque specs, all that for rebolting everything. Maybe for the cylinder head, I think what'll be more important is just showcasing some of the stuff that I've done differently. For example, like the head gasket, what thickness is it, the ARP bolts, the valve train, I think the valve springs are different on it. Just some of the stuff, some of the differences I've done, some things I'm going to do a little different. I'll bring the box over of new parts. We'll just kind of go over everything I'll be swapping out, and we can start moving on from there. So let's do that. So a lot of this is mainly just the standard maintenance stuff. We got a fuel filter, or this is the fuel filter, this is the oil filter. We got, this is the gasket for the oil filter housing. We also have some bolts for the flywheel. We got some dowel pins for the cylinder head, mating it to the engine block, since I always seem to break those. I don't know if we'll be using these. These are the expansion plugs that go on the side of the block for the coolant ports. Additionally to this, we also have a new transmission. This right here is the new one, or at least new to me. This is a ZF transmission, so we'll be doing a swap over from the standard Getrag over to the ZF. I believe it's also a 5-speed, but we'll be doing that swap next. I don't know if we'll cover it in this video. We might just cover the next one once we have everything already put back together. And I also have the drive shaft over there. My garage is very much a mess right now. There's the drive shaft for that, and this is what we'll be doing now. We got the cylinder head, we got the cams, we got the head gasket over there. So this is the MLS head gasket. It's a 120 thousandths thick MLS that we'll be reusing. I chose it a while back. When I did the math, I believe it dropped the combustion ratio down to, or the compression ratio down to about 9-to-1. So 9-to-1, I feel is a solid number. It's playing it safe. I think if anything, I could have also gone with a slightly thinner head gasket as well and be fine. So I haven't really experimented with different thicknesses for the head gasket, but this one's 120, and we'll be actually spraying this down with some copper spray just because it looks like the material that they used, I forgot what this is called, but the coating for the MLS is starting to wear down a little bit. So I think I'll just hang this up and spray this down with some copper spray. This is all my mess right here, a bunch of different parts from a bunch of different engines. There's a turbo manifold. So I think actually right now it'd probably be best to go ahead and spray down the MLS. Oh, here are the ARP bolts, by the way. So we are going to be reusing these as well. Don't see anything wrong with that. But I think we'll start by, spraying down the MLS, clean the block, and we can start with mating the cylinder head and just getting everything back together. Oh, one thing too, I don't know if I've mentioned the valve springs, but I got some new valve springs to address the broken valve issue that I was having. I think I have talked about it in the past. Yeah, that's pretty much the only differences between my engine to just standard stock M50. 120 thousandths thick head gasket, ARP bolts, and some upgraded valve springs. So yeah, all right, let's start spraying that down. Alright, so we got the MLS gasket all sprayed up with some copper spray. I did about 4 coats. I think that'll be alright. Now that we have that done, we can go ahead and begin the installation process on the block here. I still have to clean this up, and we can start putting all this stuff back together. It's going to take me a while to figure out how it all goes back together. I think it's mainly just, you know, all the separate bracketry and stuff that goes on the side of the engine. I'm gonna have to remember, especially the harness. The wire harness is gonna be a pain, but it's nice because I got these all labeled up, so that'll make at least finding the right bolts pretty easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this back together, and hopefully we'll come back with a rebuilt / refreshed engine. Alright, and we're back. So we got the engine put back together for the most part, but if you look closely, there was a bit of a mishap here. When I was putting the turbo manifold back on, I had the engine horizontal. I had it twisted on the mount here, and I might have messed up, and it tilted on me, and I didn't feel it like tipping over, and it just kind of went. It happened pretty quickly, but the whole engine ended up tipping over off the engine mount here. So right now I actually got it held on with the engine hoist, just as like a safety measure. I don't want that to happen again. I don't think it'll happen with it vertical. It only happened when it was horizontal. I already took it off and inspected everything. Nothing seems to be damaged besides the valve cover and the engine bracket right here. These kind of took the brunt of the impact. I took off the cover and I was checking to see if anything was cracked. Everything looked good, except for this. Could call it an extra PCV port and run it good, but I think this is a problem. So now we're gonna have to fix this. We're have to get a new valve cover and probably pick one of these up. So yeah, that happened. I wish I got footage of it, but it was after I was done recording the time lapse, and I just wanted to get the turbo manifold on, and it was my mistake. This engine's so big and heavy with everything back on it. I should have seen it coming. So it could have been a lot worse. Could have cracked the head or something. But other than that, everything else went good. Engine seems to spin, cams spin, everything is in. The only thing we're missing now is the fuel stuff and the engine harness stuff, the electrical wire harness. But I think first what we'll do is first get the valve cover fixed. Go to pick and pull, get a new valve cover, and then from there we can begin with the ZF trans swap, which we'll do in the next video. Then once the transmission's in, we can start putting in the wire harness and the fueling stuff and get it back in the car. But yeah, I know this was probably a shorter video than the other ones. Hope it wasn't too boring. Hope it was just a chill, laid-back video. But it was just a lot of work, and I had to kind of remember how to get everything back on and the sequence of how everything goes back on and stuff. Yeah, I just never have the memory to remember it exactly how to put all this stuff back together. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button, and if you feel like subscribing, that'd be nice too. And yeah, like I said, the next video we'll tackle the transmission stuff, and we'll get a new valve cover and stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in what is it, part 5 or part 6? I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next video. So take care.